Well, hello my beautiful Taurians, welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with a little bonus reading all about you. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. The frequencies of the earth are actually changing at this time, and you can all feel it, of course. Well, this means that the Tibetan symbols that I usually use may not be as palatable to the ears as they used to be, because we become more sensitive and open to the vibrations around us. So I actually sourced a softer frequency to prepare and cleanse your reading. I'm using the Gaia chimes to cleanse hourly, so please be mindful to turn down the volume if you're someone who is sensitive to sound. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Taurians, this is a little bonus reading all about you. Us tarot readers, we tend to focus on career, money, love, but we never ask how are you doing. So this reading is tapping into what's going on with you right now, how you're moving through this time period, and what lies on the other side. I'm using one deck because I love the simplicity it lends to this spread. So let us begin. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Taurians? What do they need to know at this time? Can you please show them the way for their highest good? So we have the Moon card as your starting card. So a lot of you are feeling a little bit unsure at the moment. You may feel a little bit uncertain. I feel a lot of you may be looking at your shadow self. I feel like you're trying to romance your life a little bit more, but that Moon energy can indicate you feel there's an undercurrent of change going on and you feel a little bit hesitant about what the future may bring there. Now, of course, we will tap into the energy fully when we get there, but that is the starting card. We have the Four of Wands energy there as well. So a lot of you, you may be thinking about moving, or you may be thinking about where you belong right now. Some of you, there is this energy of like uncertainty within friendships. There may even be a relationship or a friendship that you feel is becoming a little bit distant, or you feel like you're like evolving away from this person or this situation. Some of you, that Four of Wands can indicate that something within you has changed. The things that you used to connect to, they just don't hit in the same way at this moment in time. And you're trying to kind of really locate what it is that's different. But of course, it is you that's different. Something within you has changed. Frequencies have changed. The world has changed. And of course, you are adapting to these changes. So I really tap into this and see what's going on there with you. I do see there is something to celebrate, okay? Because the Four of Wands is showing up, indicating that there is some sort of good news that will tip the balance for you in some way. But that Chariot card in your past position, how would you like to receive? How would you like to receive? Okay, Queen of Swords, the Emperor energy. Okay. Very kind of like intense energy coming through your reading at this time. We've got the Magician card. We have the Judgment card. A lot of major arcana cards going on there. Nine of Cups. I could feel something really important coming in that will tip the balance. As I mentioned, Nine of Cups is a wish fulfillment. So something that you feel that you don't have right now, it will be coming your way. It'll be different for everybody, of course, so it depends on what you're focused on. But, I will tap into that. That's something outside of yourself. I feel right now there's like a bit of an inner battle, or you're really paying attention to your inner narrative, because the Moon card is a very insular card. It can indicate, that you're really tapping into self at this time, a period of reflection, but also, you know, tapping into your intuition to really sense what's going on around you and really sense the changes that you feel may be afoot in your world in some way. I mean, maybe even in the world at large for some of you. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Taurians? What do they need to know? Can you please guide them for their highest good? What are they meant to be aware of at this time? Please show them the way. Thank you so much. Can we have an outcome card? Oh, okay. My guides really forced that one out there. We got a Six of Cups, which is a return to happier times. So that's a really positive card there. We also have a Queen of Swords energy. Okay, we have that Queen of Wands, Queen of Swords. We have an Ace of Swords. And we also have a Five of Cups. So that which you feel like you lack right now, there is definitely some sort of shift or change where you will be delivered something even better than you maybe even imagined, okay? But let's get into the cards. Now, I've just got this sense that perhaps I called the Queen of Wands the Queen of Swords earlier. I'm not sure, but if I did, maybe it's because I was picking up on the Queen of Swords energy, because I get this sense of feeling detached in some way. A lot of you may feel like you're a little bit on autopilot in life in some way. Don't get me wrong, you're busy. I feel like you are someone who is very drained with that Five of Cups energy. But I also see that, you know, there is this energy of disassociation or feeling like not completely yourself in some way. You may have felt something within you has changed and now you're trying to adapt to your environment. Okay, so let's get to the cards. The first card there is the Moon card, and this is the starting card. So this can indicate, you know, a period of being very cerebral, you know, tapping into the unseen, maybe even conversations within self that you're not actually expressing to other people. I really get an energy here where you're being true to yourself, but I'm also getting this energy of the ebb and flow of life, of change, of uncertainty, because that's what the Moon card can indicate. It can indicate like the shadows or the hidden truths. So a lot of you, you know, there is this energy, especially with that Queen of Wands, which is literally a glow up, by the way, which is more energy, more vitality, you being magnetic and drawing in opportunities that you've been focused on for some time, because you have that Magician card energy as well. It basically means you're a very talented, gifted person. Everything you need within you can change your life, okay? So nothing outside of yourself can fulfill you, of course. I mean, we all need money to pay bills, and we need certain goals and aspirations as well as a sense of purpose, so that's important. But I feel you will be locking on even more to that, and I definitely see here a lot of you are letting go of something that perhaps just felt muddy. You know, there's this energy of like being unsure, okay, with this Moon card. Now, that's not always the case with the Moon card. I'm actually being given this energy right now that there is a hidden opportunity that you haven't even seen yet that will materialize in your life. But, you know, that will be for your future is what I see. And the Moon card energy can indicate that a lot of you are facing your fears right now, and there is a need to trust your intuition, your instinct. I mean, you do have the Emperor energy here, so this can indicate that you have a healthy mistrust of the establishment or the governing bodies that, you know, rule our world, for example, and you may be feeling like, what next? There's always something, and you may feel that right now the world is in chaos and turmoil, and it's promoting a level of fear, or it feels like, you know, things have just changed, almost like everything is on its head right now. So you may be really trying to navigate the changes of the world because you are an empath, especially when you get that Moon energy. But also I feel like you're trying to zoom into your life as well and really look at what it is that feels just a little bit like off, okay? Now, of course, this is a card of rumination, but also it can be that you're deeply thinking about the next steps of your life. Normally on the Moon card, it basically means that there is a path being made clear for you, and there is a wolf and a dog on the Moon card in the typical Rider-Waite Tarot, and the wolf represents independence. It represents a new path. Maybe even opening up to a new way of living or a new way of doing things. And of course, the dog represents the certainty, the companionship, the stability in life, something that perhaps is unchangeable, unwavering. So some of you may be trying to have some sort of new start in your life right now, and you're really tapping into your instincts to see if you should take that leap, if you should go for it. The universe is going to send you lots of signs to hint that you should, you know, follow your heart, of course. You're going to see lots of feathers. I'm actually seeing a lot for you right now. Lots of feathers and unusual leaves. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. Unusual leaves that may be in the shape of a heart, or perhaps they're like, I'm being given the words iridescent and colorful. So it could be like a very unusual leaf that captures your attention, and you could be thinking about some sort of new endeavor or new way of living when you actually see this leaf, but also you're going to get lots of confirmation through feathers and rainbows. I mean, rainbows always show up for you, my beautiful Taurians, so I do see this as something for your future. But with the moon energy, I feel a lot of you, there is this stillness, okay? You know, it's almost like an opposition energy I'm getting from your reading and your cards. It's like, yeah, there seems to be some sort of stillness right now, or you're trying to protect your inner peace, but at the same time, everything is very chaotic around, or there's always something to do. I feel like you're tapping into many different frequencies. You have a lot on your plate, a lot on your to-do list, but at the same time, you're trying to ground yourself, trying to hydrate. I feel you are trying to recover some sort of magic or spark, or, you know, reconnect to a part of yourself that perhaps you feel like has been missing for some time, okay? But I feel like you're trying to be in the flow. Now, with that moon energy, crossing is a 4 wands. Now, either some of you have been going through a separation, and if that's you, I'm sending you a huge hug out there, so much love, okay? Because when you have the 4 wands in a crossing card, it can indicate, you know, something that was present in our life has either been distanced or taken away, or we've walked away from it. So please apply it to your situation. But the 4 wands can be like leaving something behind, or moving or disconnecting from something. And for some of you, this could literally mean that there hasn't been much to celebrate for some time, but you're still trying to be really grateful for all that you have right now. You know, the 4 wands in the upright indicates happiness, joy, people coming together, you know, and with that moon energy and the 4 of Wands in its crossing position, some of you may feel a little bit isolated or alone at this moment in time. Perhaps you're searching for your soul tribe, because the moon is always a searching energy. If you think about it, it's a lament. And, you know, it is the ebb and flow of the tide, the longing energy. So I feel some of you could be yearning to actually meet people who really connect to you, or, you know, your soul tribe members, or some of you may even feel like you've been on the outside looking in for some time, and things have changed and shifted, and you're just trying to connect to some sort of like vibration where you feel it all makes sense, if that makes sense in itself, right? And of course, this is not going to resonate with everyone, this reading, but, you know, there could be some sort of change that has occurred. Please apply it to your situation. Humans go through many changes. So, for example, there could be like a mature change in your body going on, and, you know, you're different, and your body requires different needs. You're nourishing yourself in different ways, for example. Others, it could be that you've just, you know, had a child, and your body is trying to adjust to this new environment, but also your body is trying to adjust. For some of you, it could literally be that your circumstances have changed in some way, or you're thinking about moving somewhere. Something feels like it's shifting for you right now, and you're trying to like learn to get to grips with it. I see that you'll conquer it. I see that, you know, you are really in a position to be very flexible within these changes, whether these changes are to do with things outside ourselves, like rules, regulations, policies, governments, you know, all of those things that kind of like structure our world, or whether it is, you know, something within yourself that you're trying to reconcile right now. I definitely see if you're going through a separation, of course, it's very painful, and I'm sending you a huge hug out there, so much love. And of course, there's no words to basically comfort, right? Because it is a feeling that is so deep, especially with the moon energy. That is a really like heavy energy sometimes. But I do see with that 5 of Cups in your future, it means the lament, it will disappear. It means that you'll let go of something to embrace something greater. So whatever it is that you feel like you have evolved from or had to let go of, I see that there is brighter in your future. The 4 of Wands is a coming together. So I do see that there is a highly creative time coming for you. And a lot of you, you know, and this came up in a different reading only last week, I think. I think it was for a Scorpio reading. I'm not sure. I don't really like to mention other people's readings in there, but if you do have Scorpio placements, please apply it to your situation. Maybe there's something in that reading for you, but if not, then ignore that. I'm just getting this energy of like, you know, every artist who is very creative, you don't have to be an artist. Every human has the ability to express, okay? Whether that's through words, art, music, poetry, whatever it is. And I feel some of you could literally be going through like your blue period. Artists tend to go through a blue period, and this is the period where you get more creative. It's a period where you can connect with that interconnectedness in humans, where everybody is one. Everyone experiences something very similar, never the same, because we all, have different experiences and we have a different way of dealing with it. But there is this energy of expressing yourself. So that Four Wands, you may find that suddenly you're called to write a story, maybe write about your own life, or, do some sort of art that reflects how you feel, because the Four Wands is a very creative card, okay? Now, also, the Four Wands in this position can indicate a lot of you're trying to achieve something and it's hard. And one moment you feel like you're taking 2 steps forward and then 4 steps back. That is the energy of the moon. I feel like you're working with the energy, and basically, the universe is trying to orchestrate a way forward for you, because the moon is always, making an adjustment, but the path becomes clear. So some of you could feel like you're in a period of adjustment where there's always a gear shift and it's frustrating, but actually you are making progress, okay? Now, this could be in terms of health as well. It doesn't always have to be connected to like things outside of yourself. I want you to be aware of that. But that Four Wands, there is something coming on in here that you will literally celebrate. This is a card as well where you become more confident. And I feel, this is you kind of like getting out there and connecting to people or situations, integrating in some way. And if you've been withdrawn recently, because the moon energy can be a withdrawal card, I feel there is a time for you to be out there intermingling in the community or with friendships or even relationships, because there's a lot of people energy here. Okay, we've got 2 queens, we've got an emperor energy. So it can be that these are soul tribe members, could be members of your family, friendships. Maybe there is some sort of dynamic. Perhaps if some of you have been in a relationship and you are separating from someone, perhaps there was some sort of interference going on there and you're just trying to adjust. Whatever it is, I feel with this energy that in different stages, there is this glow up happening for you, that things are like taking a turn for the better. I mean, the Page of Swords is the earthly plane position. So the Page of Swords is a very vigilant card. So when the moon is present in a reading, it tends to indicate you have a hunch on something, or you feel something is off. And the Page of Swords is like, keep your eyes peeled, we're ready for anything, okay? So a lot of you could be feeling in a very hyper-vigilant kind of mode right now. Now, of course, over the last couple of years, humanity experienced some rather large changes that completely put everybody in a bit of a spin. Now, of course, we all adjust. Humans are great at adapting to things, but the haunting of it, because the Six of Cups can be like a reminiscing. It can be you pinpointing a moment where everything changed, or it can be that you have gone through an experience that was so deep that you always are feeling it could happen again. Okay, so there could be a fight or flight energy here with this Page of Swords. Some of you may have felt like, you're always just thinking that perhaps there is something negative on the horizon. Now, for some of you, because we do have a Judgment card energy and we have the Moon and the Chariot, which are very sort of like duality cards. And what I mean by that is, there's 2 kind of sides to these cards. It basically means that some of you may have been going through a period where your hormones have been shifting. The Moon card can connect to hormones. Some of you are actually governed by like moon cycles, for example. And it can be that during times where the moon is full, for example, that's when you have really heightened emotions, extra sensitivity, that you may feel that, there is a threat or you feel uncertain. And it could be a hormonal imbalance for some of you. So some of you could be actually looking into this at this time. Page of Swords can be to locate or identify the root cause of something. So if you feel something's off, I mean, of course, the world is pretty crazy as well. So a lot of you could be like trying to distance yourself from things that like trigger fear, right? Because you've got things that you want to do in your own world, and you don't want to look outside of yourself at this time. The moon is a very insular card, so it can indicate you want to protect your inner peace, that you want to do things that bring you joy, that bring you fun, that help you have this glow up. So I definitely see here a distancing of something in order to embrace something greater, something more fun. And of course, the Page of Swords can be news, and it's something that perhaps some of you have been waiting for, With the Four of Wands in its position, I would say that, there's an element of this news where you're like, a little bit frustrated or a little bit dissatisfied with it, but also equally joyful. So whatever this news is, it feels like it comes twofold. So it can be that it's a milestone news that comes in where, for example, if you're accomplishing something, it could be that you get like this milestone point that says, yeah, you know what, you're nearly there, but there's still one more step. And you're like, oh, okay, there's one more step. I'm ready. I'm pumped. I'm super excited about it. Let's go for it. However, there's still some more to do. For some of you, it could literally be that, perhaps you were expecting something, but then you find that actually there's a missing piece or a step that you need to complete before it is complete and that you can fully sort of celebrate. Okay, so that's something that's coming through there, but you will celebrate is what I see. Okay, and fully without that dissatisfaction. And that Page of Swords, this could also be that you're very cerebral right now. You're in your head about something. And for some of you, as my readings are not connected to aesthetics. I don't talk about beauty often or what we look like or things like that. But because we have the Queen of Wands there and the Page of Swords, a lot of you could have been a little bit critical on the way you look recently as you mature, but actually I see that you are getting more beautiful or attractive with age. No matter who you are, I definitely see this glow up happening and that you're owning your story. But for some of you, it could be something that's on your mind. I feel like you're someone who is like fun loving, you have normally a lot of energy, you know your worth, you've learnt to know your worth there because perhaps people have taken advantage of you and your kindness throughout the years. But I see here that you are someone who typically has this energy of being very popular, but something may have changed or made you feel withdrawal recently. And I feel like you're kind of like reigniting that spark, that creative kind of desire within you. It doesn't have to be that suddenly you're out there painting in a field, for example. It could be that suddenly, you feel an awakening within you, and not just a spiritual awakening. It feels very much like you're looking at yourself in a different way. You're finding yourself more attractive. You're falling in love with yourself in a way that perhaps took a long time. There is this energy of feeling comfortable in your own skin, especially since we have that Queen of Wands energy there, and the Emperor energy indicates a maturity that is occurring. And it can be that, some of you with that Six of Cups, you may feel like you wish you could go back in time and talk to your past self and say, you know what, it's going to be okay. You know what, you're actually really beautiful, both inside and out. And you're going to meet some people who try to question your worth, but don't ever let that be you. You may really want to kind of like return to that inner child and say, you know what? We took control in the end and we're all good. And, we stepped up in life. And yeah, it's a struggle and there's some weird things that are going to happen, but you're safe, you're secure, you're guided. So I feel a lot of you could be going through things like that right now. I'm just getting true chill. So again, this may not resonate with everyone, this reading, but this is the way it's coming out. So I have to honor it at this time. Now, the Chariot card is in your past position. So there's been a lot of change, a lot of movement, in some areas improvement, but I feel like you are wanting more, or you're checking in to move ahead in some way. I mean, for some of you, this could literally be that you've moved to a new area, for example, or something has changed and is different in your life and you're trying to adapt. It may feel like you haven't quite got into the mix of it. If you're in a new environment, for example, it takes time to adapt, takes time to meet new people, to discover new places. It can feel a little bit discombobulating, for example. For some of you, this could literally be that you feel where you are right now is changing and you feel that you're looking further afield to see where you belong. So if we think about the world at large, a lot of you could be looking at the country that you live in and how it's being run or governed, and you may feel that these things are changing and you may feel very uncertain about the trajectory of that place that you're living in, because the moon is uncertainty. And some of you may be contemplating a physical move overseas or to a different state or just to a different neighborhood. Some of you are thinking, should I move? So you may have to make a decision based on, all the investigation that you're doing right now, because the Page of Swords is to investigate a new path or a new lifestyle choice. And it can be that You're feeling uncertain about this move, but you feel it's something you're called to do. Trust your instincts. You've got a hunch. Run with it. You know, you can always return or move back if you feel that it hasn't worked out or it wasn't for you. But the one thing that we must acknowledge in life, we'll never know until we try. So I feel a lot of you could be in a very explorative phase right now in your life. I mean, for some of you, this could also be like you're thinking about running your own business, or because we have the Emperor there, which is about taking charge, being your own boss. But it could also be, you know, that there are some dynamics within a family unit where you feel somehow unappreciated sometimes, or you feel that no matter what you do, no matter what you give, it's never enough, because the Moon card is constantly giving but also retracting. So it can be that no matter how hard you try with a person or a situation right now, you feel that somehow it's never enough, even though you're giving your all. So I feel a lot of you are kind of like reshifting this energy and refocusing it on you to prioritize your own needs. And that Chariot card is an indication that, you know, you're already someone who's very established in your life. I feel like you have accomplished quite a lot so far, but of course you're moving forward, because that is the nature of humans, to want to move forward. And I do see that you are taking control of the reins of your life in some way. And I feel like wherever you're locked onto, there will be victory. I feel like you're committed yourself to something, and I feel you will see progress, okay? But a lot of you, this could be all about energy or confidence at this time. And of course, we all feel those moments of wanting to be in the mix, but also to withdraw. And I feel like you're learning to listen to your body. I'm being given the word ambivert right now. That really connects to the Queen of Swords, which is over here. Why do I want to keep saying the Queen of Swords is here? I'm not sure. Okay, so perhaps you're detaching from something. You're getting really organized, but you do have that Queen of Swords here. So I'm just getting this energy of like removing yourself from something, or yeah, just getting really organized and being really precise about what it is that you want to do at this time. And it's like you're living your truth. You're being authentic and saying, okay, I hear that you have expectations on me. Maybe something's been the way it has been for a long time. And you're like, well, no, I'm changing now. I'm sorry. I got to do what I got to do for me. So it can be that you do not adhere to someone's expectations of you, and it may surprise them. And there may be an adjustment which feels very sensitive and emotional. However, I feel like it's for the best for all parties. You know, for some of you, it could be that, you know, you live with your family, for example, and you just crave a little bit more independence or a little bit more me time. So I feel you're going to make some adjustments here in order to benefit everybody. But most importantly, it stems from the self, okay? So we do have that Queen of Wands. This is in your potential position, okay? And this basically indicates that you're a magnet, that you are attracting the opportunities, that you're learning about your sense of gravitas, that you have an energy that people are attracted to. And some of you may have felt that, you know, over the time that you've been either connected to work or opportunities or people, sometimes you may not have seen that confidence within yourself. And it's taken you a while to really kind of like feel a little bit more confident within your own skin. And some of you may have basically had self-confidence issues when you were younger, and it's something I feel like you're like growing out of at this time. But that word ambivert, you know, of course, that is coming up again. So it can be that you're owning your body and your body's needs. There's a time to be in the mix and be involved in people and situations and community and all of the stuff. But there's a time where you need to reflect and pause, and that's okay. You know, humans, we've built a society where the badge of honor of success is to be doing all the time. It's like, I'm successful here, I'm creating this, I'm doing that, that's moving forward. And it's almost like if we feel like we're not doing those things, or we feel like we're not as far ahead as we feel like we should be, based on society's parameters, shall we say, then we feel somehow that we're missing out, or we're lacking in something, or it's not happening for us. But everyone has a path, okay? And actually, we're a human being. The clue is in the words being. We are here to be and have an experience. And of course, life is busy. We got responsibilities. I mean, look at that. The Emperor energy, I feel with that Five of Cups, you're exhausted. You have a lot of responsibilities. You know, it takes a lot of effort to show up and make life work. And I feel like you're someone who is taking charge of your life. But sometimes we have to acknowledge that when we take a pause, scrolling through phones, thinking about what we should be doing the next day or the next, or what someone said to us a million years ago that we should have retorted in a different way to. Those things are not taking good quality rest. So things like meditation or going for a walk in nature, or, things that make sense. I feel a lot of you are connecting to that at this time. I see a lot of you disconnecting from drama, things of fear, trigger, sort of videos online where it's like, oh my gosh, click here. The end of the world is like happening in about 30 seconds unless you click this video, and then everything's going to be fine. And we'll just like tell you it's going to be fine, right? So it can be that you're just like, you've had enough. You're fed up. The moon card can be like, I'm just done. I need to adapt, shift, there is something with this Queen of Wands where you just want to shine your light. You are going to identify that spark, reconnect to that passionate side of you. I feel a lot of you, if you're looking for love, for example, I see you're going to get a lot of attention. If you're looking for opportunities, I feel like you're drawing them towards you. You're someone who's creative, you're talented, you're gifted. If you're retired right now, this can be that you're exploring your retirement in a different way, doing the things you always wanted to do but never had enough time to do it. For some of you, if you've retired, it can be that your friends did not retire at the same time, and they may be different towards you, or you may feel that the pace is different, or you may feel that you haven't quite found your people in retirement. So there seems to be some sort of adjustment energy here, but I feel like you're out there, trying to live life and live your best life there. A lot of you, this is also lots of inspirational ideas in order to, make life electric again. And I feel like you're capable of really strong friendships. A lot of you have those as well. But if you've been feeling that there is an evolving energy in your friendships where people feel distant, this could also be in your family. I feel a lot of you, there is a lament there. It's like, it's a shame. It's sad. But I feel like as you mature, because you do have a maturing card here, it can indicate that you're being more discerning about the company that you keep, and you're drawing a line in the sand. And it's like you're not letting anyone away with bad behavior, basically. But the Emperor energy in this next 6 weeks position can indicate structure. Okay, so I feel you may be getting organized on something. I mean, I do see that you have a lot on your plate right now, and responsibility is important. I mean, some of you may feel responsible for your family unit, maybe your parents or your guardians. I get this energy of, you're a carer, you're so beautiful in your heart. A lot of you, this could be a parent or a guardian who's in spirit, who's on your mind. You're going to get lots of signs and symbols from this person. Look out for unusual leaves. I'm actually seeing a bird of paradise right now. Interesting, because a rainbow is very colorful and a bird of paradise is equally very colorful. So perhaps this is something that just came through as a little hit there for someone out there. It's not going to resonate with everyone, but when you see a bird of paradise, if you have a parent or a guardian or someone special who is in spirit, they are sending you that sign as a little token of their unconditional love, that they're still watching over you, they still walk by your side. So with a lot of love and respect, that just came in there under the radar, but I'll move away from that energy and move forward in the reading. The Emperor energy is basically about achievement, being headstrong, being reliable. You're showing up for yourself. You're always the person who shows up. You're there for people. You're a great friend. You're someone who basically cares. You see things, the details, that other people don't see. So a lot of you, there's a giving out of yourself where you notice when people go silent, when you notice that something is off with a friend or a family member. And with that moon energy, some of you may have withdrawn and just noticed who noticed your silence or your withdrawal. So you may be just kind of like looking at dynamics right now there, okay? The Emperor energy, of course, is some sort of like hierarchical position. So if you are in a career, this could be some sort of news that you get, like a promotion or some sort of opportunity that requires you to transform your life in some way. This could be through traveling, could be a relocation there as well. Maybe it's something you're contemplating, but at the right time, you're going to be in the right place. Trust your instincts and trust that whisper of your heart. A lot of you, there is this sense of wanting to romance your life a little bit more, get out there and, shine your bright light and do things that bring joy and fun. But you do have those responsibilities. Can you find the balance between the two? The answer, of course, is yes. So the Emperor is a measure of success. And this can be success in different shapes and forms. So whatever it is that you want to see success in, Please apply it to your situation. For some of you, if you've been feeling a little bit like off in yourself, vitamin deficiencies, feeling dehydrated, or your hormones are shifting, or things like that, this can indicate that you find a practitioner or someone who can locate and tell you what it is that's been going on and help you rectify it or manage it in a more efficient way. So, this can be an advisor for some of you. You don't really have any pentacles in your reading, but some of you could be looking at financial advice or structures in order to safeguard your finances in a very volatile economic market right now. You could be looking at pensions, 401ks. These could be the things that are making you feel a bit nervous or fearful. And of course, those fears are valid, but I feel you're someone who has a lot of smarts. You are someone who sees things where other people don't see things. You see patterns, structures. So I feel like you're someone who may be looking at different ways to diversify in order to safeguard your home and your finances and things like that, and your family in general. I feel like you're in a really great position. Whatever position you're in, I feel like things will get better for you. But I feel there is this stepping stone energy where it feels like, the only way I can describe it is if you are at point A and you want to get to point Z, there seems to be a bit of a sidestep over here, okay, which you were envisaging it's going to be straightforward, but it may require a little bit of a sidestep, and then you get to the point that you want to get at. But I feel like there's just a little bit of an extra piece, okay, that you have to adhere to. Now, your advice to yourself in this moment is the Magician. Believe in the magic. That's really hard to do when we have responsibilities, when the world seems like it's on its head right now. It is hard. And the Magician card is a card of control. But most importantly, it's a control of energy. So it's like, where do you put your focus? As you can see, this figure is holding their hat, which basically is covering the crown chakra, which is, that you can change the level of your focus, okay? Because where our focus and attention goes, that is the thing that will grow. And if it's starting with fear, then of course there'll be more things to be fearful of. There'll be more things that you will see and you will be fearful of. If your attention goes towards you and beauty routines, then you're going to see a marked difference in those beauty routines. If your attention goes towards your finances, that is where you are going to see the most growth as well. So the Magician card asks you to refocus your energy, or really look at the ingredients of life. If you think about a magician, right, someone who is kind of like explorative, someone who is basically getting certain ingredients to create something out of nothing, but also can be sleight of hand, right? So some of you, because the Moon card is there, you may be looking at the things that you can create, or the magic and the opportunities to manifest, because of course the Magician card is about thoughts becoming things, focusing on something and turning your vision into reality and being inspired. So if you're exhausted all the time, it's really hard to be inspired, but I do see a change within you so that you will be more inspired there. But the Magician, because it can also be connected to sleight of hand, a lot of you are paying attention, being vigilant to the things that you feel are an undercurrent in this world right now, and you're like wondering, what is the end game? Why? Why are these things happening? Why is there this shift? What is going on here? It feels like you're in a period of questioning, okay? And that's across the board. So the Magician card is there. So it's like you may be keeping an eye on whoever or whatever it is that you feel is doing something under the radar or off grid, okay? So this could be someone in your neighborhood. It could be like a neighbor. You may be like, they look like they're preparing to do some building work and they haven't told me, and maybe they're crossing a line, For some of you, it could be someone at work. For some of you, it could be someone in the community. For some of you, it could be like leaders of the world, for example. So please apply it to your situation. But this is your advice to yourself in this moment. The magic is within you. And that's literally what my tea says, okay? And my guides actually asked me to wear this tea for this particular set of readings. So I really feel that humanity right now is really reigniting that spark, discovering that passion, almost like having this kind of like wake-up call where it's like, okay, what brings me joy? What makes me happy? I need to do more of that. I need to raise vibrations. I need to get out of the funk. Easier said than done. I totally know that. Energy shifts all the time. And that's why you have that Five of Cups and the Moon card. I feel like in your maturity, you're starting to work with the energy. Sometimes you're going to wake up feeling like really excited and enthusiastic and going for it. And other times you're going to feel drained or maybe not so excited about something. It doesn't mean that you're not like excited about it long term. You know, if you think about the nature of painting, for example, if a painter is like in the flow of painting one day, the next day wakes up and looks at it and goes, not feeling it today. And then if they push through that energy, they look back and think, I've done a setback. I'm going to like redo that because I went against my energy. I wasn't really in it. So therefore, I kind of forced it. But it didn't work. The Magician is to kind of work with the energy. And I feel this is something that you're also honoring within yourself at this time as well. Now, of course, that Magician card indicates that you're a very powerful person and that you have really strong manifestation periods. And I feel like you're in one of those right now. And I also get this very strong energy that, especially with that Magician, that you have everything you need to make some changes in your life. You're making things happen. And it's like you're showing up. You're tired though, but you're still doing it. You may be scared, but you're still showing up. You're doing it, whatever it is. I feel like you're just saying, no, I'm doing it. It's happening. And the Judgment card can indicate a lot of you is this sense of purpose. The Judgment card is all about your purpose path, getting clarity, making a final decision on something. So, you know, this is a circumstance outside of yourself. A lot of you have a calling right now. And that calling could require you to be a little bit more insular or disconnect from people who perhaps have not been exhibiting high vibrations in your presence. The Judgment card can also indicate that you're just weighing up your life right now and saying, okay, I'm dissatisfied with this and I got to change it. And the only time we're ever going to change is when we're really, truly fed up with something, okay? Because sometimes we have to acknowledge that what we do not change, we accept. So I feel this is like no excuses right now. You're changing something and you're just getting things clear about what it is that you want to change. And of course, this Judgment card energy, it is a card of like rebirth. It is like an awakening. It is you being protected in order to explore a new way of life. You know, on the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, there's figures standing up in a coffin. Something is revamping here. Something has gone through a transition where you're like, okay, I'm ready. You may have felt stagnant or stuck or, you know, just fed up or in the same place all the time, even though you're making such an effort in life. But now there is an opportunity for you to embrace something. And a lot of you, it's you embracing your calling, but it can be that you're letting go of something in order to free yourself up from it. Okay, so please apply this to your situation. The Five of Cups is you letting go of something that's been heavy, whether that's fear itself, whether it is an addiction, whether it's a person that you're tempted to connect to who really makes you feel bad about yourself, or, you know, the situation doesn't meet your expectations. Whatever it is, you're letting go and you're going to be happier for it, is what I see there. Now, the hope and a fear is the Nine of Cups. There's definitely something here that you may be wishing for, of course, and some of you may fear that you'll never get it, whatever that is, because this is a hope and a fear position. You read the reverse as well as the upright. But I do see here that you're going to get it, okay? The universe wants you to be aware. You have to fully let go first and trust the process. Again, easier said than done. Many years ago, a friend of mine told me, you know, I need to get really clear on what it is that I want and then just trust that it will happen. But put one foot towards making it happen and the rest will unfold. And at the time, you know, I was pushing away my spiritual gifts. I was scared. I was like, what is that sound? Why am I hearing music that other people are not hearing right now? Why am I actually went to like many healthcare practitioners saying, oh my God, do I have a tumor? Because I'm literally hearing music that nobody is hearing. I'm literally hearing things that, and I was just scared, right? And they did all the tests, are like, nope, you're fine. Everything's not weird in there. It's all good. And I was like, well, I don't know what this is, but, and then I thought, hang on a minute, let's sit with it. Let's observe it. Let's work with it. Let's develop it. So, you know, a lot of you, there could be something right now that you feel is new in your life that you want to kind of look at, observe, develop. For some of you, this could literally be a psychic gift or a spiritual gift. But whatever it is that you want to develop or you want to explore at this time, because you have a lot of explorative cards, okay? And this card says your wish will come true. But be locked on to something very precise about what it is that you want. And I didn't believe my friend at first. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. I thought, okay, that's a bit, but we won't go into that. And they were right. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's something to this. And I started my journey of acceptance a little bit more. So some of you, there could be this energy of a journey to acceptance about something. Doesn't have to be connected to what I just told you. Sometimes my guides give me an image of me at a time in my life in order to basically transfer the energy to apply it to your reading of something that perhaps someone's going through out there. And this Nine of Cups indicates that you will overcome a challenge. There will be this energy of you getting your heart's desire, feeling really content that you've achieved whatever it is that you wanted and feel fulfilled. Okay, so I feel this card is like you're taking pride in your life, okay? And you've worked hard for the life that you've got right now. And circumstances sometimes are against us, but know that you are living in the moment and you're feeling everything as it comes to you, and there is better on the horizon there for you, okay? Now, also, that Nine of Cups in this position can indicate there's no quick results. And of course, I feel like you've been very patient with your energy. I do feel that you're on a trajectory to more. And I feel a lot of you are looking at the inner battle, conquering thoughts, okay? Because the Moon card can be a shift in energy, and you have that Queen of Swords and the Emperor in the near future position, which can indicate that you're conquering thoughts at this time. You know, rather than tear yourself down during moments of pressure, because I see a lot of you under pressure at this moment in time, I feel like you're building yourself up, saying, you know what, I can do this. I got this. And you do. Six of Cups is definitely a call to better times, but it can be a lament. So it can mean that there is some sort of nostalgia that you've been experiencing. Like, it was easier back then. It was easier when I was younger. It was just so much easier when, you know, this was happening. When did it get so hard? When did it get so challenging? So some of you could literally be lamenting a part of your life that you feel you're distanced from. For example, you know, if you used to go out and party, for example, as we mature, we start to get serious about life. We start to, you know, build structure in our life. We start to do things that, you know, make sense. But at the same time, we yearn for that other part of ourselves. That other part of ourselves is still there. And you can tap into that part of yourself at any time. Now, of course, the Six of Cups, for some of you, this could be someone from your past has tried to re-enter your life or will try to re-enter your life or has formed that they do try to enter your life at times, and you may be feeling like you can't do this anymore. This person, they create some sort of chaos, or they just never kind of like act in a higher vibration is what I'm seeing there, because the Five of Cups indicates some of you may have to let something or somebody go, or like with love, say that part of my life, you know, I gotta keep it over there right now because I'm doing me and I just don't need this at this moment in time. But for some of you, you may actually have to let go of an opportunity in order to embrace another opportunity. And sometimes it's hard to let go of something because we're unsure about how the new thing's going to work out. But I can see that it's going to work out better than what you have right now as well. Now, we also have that Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is about taking accountability for your own life, being responsible, of course, but also having lots of ideas and having the courage of your conviction to make things happen. Also, this is something from the universe being offered to you, a fresh new start or an endeavor or a new way of thinking. You know, with this Ace of Swords, you suddenly know what to do. So I feel a lot of you are contemplating some sort of change in your life right now. You're not sure how it's going to go, but I feel like you're owning it and deciding that actually this is how I wish my life to be. And, you know, when you claim that from the universe makes sure that there is an orchestration behind the scenes to make it happen. And that's what that moon energy is there for. It indicates the vibration of all that you desire already exists. You just got to tap into it and believe the connection that it will show up. And easier said than done. I feel that is my literal statement for your reading. Easier said than done, right? But I see that you will do it. And that is, you know, the outcome is the celebration. We do have that Queen of Swords, which was next. So a lot of you have an idea. You're getting structured on something. You're distancing yourself from something. Again, there is this disassociation energy coming through with this. But, you know, for some of you, this could literally mean if you're going through a separation that you're divorcing, right? Or that, you know, there is an energy here of really like leaving the past behind, knowing that you're a very strong person and that, yes, it was a sorrowful time. There was a lot of challenging emotions, but you've had the courage to acknowledge that it was not right for you, that actually something greater lies ahead of you. Now, a lot of you, this can be applied to everything, really, but the Queen of Swords takes ownership for her life and says, okay, you know what? that was an experience, and I'm going to chalk it up to experience, but now I'm moving on to greater things, and I'm not going to allow it to haunt me or derail my future happiness. So if you're going through a divorce or a separation, I'm sending you a huge hug out there. For some of you, you may be distancing yourself from a family member, or something has gone on there where you're like, why does it have to be so muddy and difficult and hard? And you just wanted peace, but the situation did not choose peace. A lot of you are like, okay, if I just distance myself and give it a breath, give it some time, can it resolve? Can it rectify? And of course it can, but it needs space. And I just see this energy in your reading where you need space from something in order to really recalibrate, okay? Now with this Five of Cups, a lot of people see it as a very negative card, but actually I feel there's this energy of letting go in order to embrace all that you desire. Sometimes letting go of control is the thing that some of us have to do. You have the Magician card, which can be a measure of control with the Emperor energy. So it can be you're releasing control over something and saying, you know what, I'm just going to see how it goes. Let's see how that works out. Because normally you're someone who's super organized. I mean, you can still take the reins at any point, but you may be just releasing control in a situation. But with that Five of Cups energy, it can indicate that something has been dissatisfying, or you're releasing grief for some of you. And again, I'm sending you huge amounts of love and hugs out there. If you're going through a period of grieving something, whether it's a part of your life, whether it's a person, whether it's a situation, or whether it's like the world we once knew in some way. Whatever it is, I feel like there will be a return to brighter times, and those that have walked before still walk with you, but in a different form. And I really get this energy here of an ebb and flow of emotion, but there is a freedom that comes from that. And you're letting go of something perhaps as well that's not working for you anymore. And that will just remove the heaviness. Okay, that's what I see here, because the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot basically has a figure lamenting 3 cups that are spilt on the floor. And this figure, it's like something has broken down, or something is just not working, or maybe there's been a disappointment, or you're just kind of like appreciating what you have right now and like wanting more, or wanting something that you feel like you don't have, but at the same time it just feels like you're in the same place or stuck, or maybe even you've lost that loving feeling for something or somebody at this time. And the figure is not aware that the universe has delivered 2 cups that are full behind them. They just have to readjust or adapt and look around and see, oh, there's 2 cups there. I didn't even realize. The universe wants you to have these 2 cups. Now the 2 of Cups indicates an affinity with all that you desire. It doesn't have to be about love. 2 of Cups is often connected to love and, a connection and a bond between people. So it can be that, you meeting people who really connect to you, or a love relationship or support. But for some of you, the root of that card is what your heart desires. There is a vibration that matches it, and you can have all that you desire. But you have to start from a position where you feel fulfilled within yourself, and happiness comes from within. So, filling the cup of love for yourself first is so important. Loving yourself. Again, easier said than done, but I feel right now you're in a period of prioritizing your own needs, and that is the starting point, the springboard to attract all that you desire and more, okay? There's a reciprocity in the law of the universe. That which you put out, you should get back, but sometimes that does not happen, and there tends to be a blockage or some sort of karma, and I feel like you are releasing that at this time so that the universe can deliver some really good things towards you, something that you will actually celebrate, okay? Something better than perhaps you've had to let go of. I'm just going to go and get some final cards for you all. Something is coming in through very strongly, that if you have been in a period, actually I want to honor this energy that's coming through. One moment please. My guides are giving me, if you've been going through a period of grief, you must honor the emotions that come on in. Sometimes it can hit you from nowhere, and it is a process, and no one can ever tell you that process is going to get easier. Pain and sadness is pain and sadness, no matter what form it comes in. And, sometimes just sitting with self, and maybe even having someone who just kind of like is a support network, can give you that foundation, not to try and fix the situation or not to try and make it better, but to honor and sit with the emotions, because these are gifts. These are like, your body processing the pain in order to release the pressure. So I'm just being given this energy that, some people say, of course, time heals or time is a healer. But actually, you know what? It doesn't like heal. It can lessen the response or the emotional pain body, but the sadness and the lament and the pain, and the pangs of pain can still be there. Okay, so I just feel like someone maybe grieving out there is just coming through the reading, and they may have been told that, oh, you'll get over it, or, things will feel easier in the future. Okay, and I just feel here with that Emperor energy, it's like you're managing things. It hasn't gone away. So again, so much love, and you're going to get a lot of signs and symbols if you're going through a grieving process. But the Moon and the Five of Cups is the ebb and flow and the honoring of these feelings that are present. They're there for a reason. It is a part of life. And I feel like this is about you acknowledging that there is a time to sit with self and, really go through that process. So yeah, with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to move away from that energy and get some final cards there. Okay. I'm actually being given this energy of like a quote, which is, the soul would have no rainbow if there was no tears. Okay, that's something that's just come through there. So, I think there is even like a card in this deck that has that quote. But it's something that's coming through right now. So I just thought I'd give that to you, okay? Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Great Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Taurians? What do they need to know at this time? Can you please show them for their highest good? What do they need to be aware of? Please show them the way. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Great Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Taurians? Any further cards that are necessary to their reading? What do they need to know at this time? Okay, I think they want those cards. They have to pop out, yeah. Okay, so we have solitude. Okay, so some of you may have been called to be in solitude for various reasons. Maybe it's connected to your calling at this time. But it says here, take a break from life routines and schedules to be with yourself. That's a lot of what the energy was in this reading. So, sometimes I think to myself, well, this reading, does it make sense to someone out there? Where is this reading going? But I have to honor the energies that come through because there's always a message. And this card connects to that. It says withdrawal, singleness, and detachment. So I felt this like sense of detachment in your reading throughout. And it says here, when a man moves away from nature, his heart becomes hard. And we've gone from a Queen of Wands energy to Queen of Swords energy. So there can be this attachment that you feel like you've moved away from a part of your life that you once loved, or that you feel perhaps is not achievable again. But I see a rebirth. I see you reconnecting to things that bring joy. I see that you will reconnect to your heart space, and I feel, there is an awakening here. So whether you feel like you've moved away from a part of yourself or even nature itself, I feel like there is a return. Six of Cups is a return to better times. We've also got revolution. Okay, revolution. So this could be a revolution of self. But it says here, the upper world is helping you transform and get rid of your worries. And that's, again, something that came out in your reading about worry and fear. Dramatic change, evolving, and reshaping. So major transition that you're going through. Trust the process. It can feel like alienating at times, but I do feel that you're going to meet people and even see like reels or quotes or things like that that connect, where other people have gone through something very similar, not the same, because we all perceive things differently and we all have different experiences. Even if we witness the same event, we still see it in a different way, or we transmute it and respond to it in different ways. So we have to acknowledge that each person is very unique in their experiences. But I feel, there is some sort of like inner revolution going on here, where you feel like you need to fight for what is right, or connect to your values or morals, or say, you know what, this is missing. This is the ingredient that's missing. I need to go in search of that right now. We've also got power animal. Connect with your spirit animal to carry their wisdom and power. Pets, working with animals and instincts. I did mention earlier about you having hunches. That's your instincts. Trust those instincts, Sometimes, if you trust your intuition, with that Page of Swords, you'll actually find out that you were right. But of course, facts are important. We can't just run on an intuition. We can have a knee-jerk reaction to something, but it is your body. I always say, you know, your gut instinct is your first brain. It will tell you something's off. Trust that, and you'll see the facts unfold. But I feel it's really important to recognize that if you feel something is off, always investigate it to make sure that you do have the facts before you make a decision. And yeah, some of you may be adopting pets at this time or be closer to your pets at this time. Your pets, you know, if you do have a pet, they feel you. They feel your lament. They may even cozy up to you during moments of sadness. And, you know, they're there as a little healer for you as well. If you think about cats, they're a little vibration. It's a very healing vibration. The unconditional love of a dog as well. I mean, rabbits as well. You know, I used to have a little pet rabbit, and oh my gosh, it was just so cute. Followed me everywhere. We were together everywhere. We were little besties, right? So animals have like other senses that we don't have, and they have a connection to the vibrations of the earth. You know, whenever there is like an eclipse, a spider will literally dismantle its web and then restructure it when the eclipse passes. Very in tune with nature, and I feel this is you getting in tune with your surroundings. So honoring animals, an animal may even adopt you, but we've got their primal as well. So this is about rediscovering that spark, that passion, that, you know, raw energy within yourself. It exists there. It may have lain dormant for a while, but it exists. And we've got this primal drive holds the key to winning the object of your desire. Raw feelings, and you know, it's this force. You're a force to be reckoned with here. So I do see great things in your future. You're going through a transition, and I do feel like you're not alone, even though sometimes it may feel like it. So look out for those signs and symbols, because they're really going to highlight that you're not alone, okay? So I'll leave it there, my beautiful Taurians. Thank you so much, and love and light.